Oh yeah, so I did my coaching workshops yesterday and on Tuesday, so I'm just having a little bit of a debrief really. So one of the main things that I learned yesterday was that knowing what coaching is and what coaching isn't, and what you can coach and what you can't coach, are just as important as each other. So coaching, what you can't coach, or what coaching isn't, is counselling. It isn't for it's not for mental health issues. So if you're going through a period of mental crisis, or if you need to talk about a specific issue that's affecting your mental health, you need to go and seek support for that. Coaching isn't for counselling. It's not for you to just be listened to around a topic that is affecting you mentally, or for anxiety, for depression, for that needs specific intervention by a professional, by a healthcare professional. So you need to go and seek that support. What I did find though is that can show up in coaching, and that's something that a coach needs to be able to signpost the person to in a delicate, sensitive way, making sure that they feel heard, that they are reassured that there's things out there that they can get support from, and knowing where to go for that. That's the coach's role when that turns up. So it's not saying that you can't talk about those issues. It's saying that's not you can't be coached on those issues. But coaches need to be aware of it. Coaches need to know that actually this might show up for a coachee, and what to do in that situation. So one of the things is being empathetic, making sure that you are there for the coachee and that they know that you're listening to them. But that's out of your scope of practice, and that you need to signpost that coachee or client to the appropriate service in a empathetic, understanding and an appropriate way. But the coachee also, and the client also, needs to know that some things you can be coached on, other things you can't be coached on. You may need counselling, you might need mentoring, you might need therapy. So that was one of the biggest learning points for me. Another key point for me was contracting. So it's something that contracting is creating boundaries within a conversation to understand where the boundaries lie between the coach and the coachee, and these are what we agree on for this conversation. So it's understanding that there's confidentiality within that conversation, that there's accountability within that conversation to turn up, to be present, to bring issues that can be coached, to be non-judgmental, and the coach needs to be non-directive. So that is creating a conversation where that person, that client, that coachee can turn up with their topic, with their issue, and the coach would just ask questions to explore that topic for them, so that they can come up with their own answers and they can come up with their own plan of action based on the questions that the coach is asking. Contracting is also around understanding the level of challenge that the person wants from the questions. So a coach understands that the person may want lots of challenge and to sort of delve deeper into issues, and the coach needs permission to ask certain questions and to ask challenging questions. They might observe things and observe key things that keep coming out for the coachee that they haven't realised, and then it's asking around, can I ask, why do we keep going into that space, or why does that keep coming up for you? Sometimes the coachee, the client might be like, actually I'm not prepared for that at the moment, I'm not in that headspace, I haven't got capacity for that, so no. And then you just need to move on with a different question, a different line of conversation to get to the point where the client has a plan of action. But really interesting that the past 2 days has been a challenge for me, a space where I've learned, where I've challenged myself. Usually I'm an avid note writer, but I didn't take any notes. I just listened, tried to be present in all of the conversations that I was having, and hopefully I'm becoming a better coach. I'm becoming more attuned to asking the right questions at the right time. And I'm there was positives to take from it. So I just thought I'd give you a little bit of an update. So just to recap, some things can't be coached, some things need therapy, you need a mentor for, or you need counselling around. The coach needs to be aware that that can happen and that can show up for clients, and that actually you may need to signpost the client to the right person or the right service, and that coaching's not the right time for that. It may be that they have that first and then come back for coaching afterwards, but the client needs to be in a mental space where they can engage in coaching and have actions and homework from the conversations that they're going to have. Also, there are contracting or contracts or boundaries setting that need to be put in place for these particular conversations, because they can be challenging. There will be actions. They need to be confidential, they need to be non-directive, they need to be non-judgmental. It needs to be a safe space for the person to be able to explore their topic, explore what's happening for them, and potential outcomes. This might be the first time that they're bringing this topic to anybody, so it needs to be confidential, it needs to be a safe space where they can explore it, and then be safe in the knowledge that it's not going to be shared with anybody else unless there's a safeguarding issue. So I will keep updating with my thoughts on the coaching and workshops. Hope you're enjoying the content. Ta-ta for now.